Let's talk about this. Africans. I want all the Africans to come here and let's talk about this. Because we are all here blaming South Africans for standing for their country, to try and fight for their country, and to try and make things right in their country. And we're trying to look at them and say, oh no, there's xenophobia. Okay, let's put it like this. Do you guys understand that South Africans have responsibilities? That's just like we do have responsibilities. Do you also understand that South Africans are also human beings, just like everybody else is human being? Do you know that South Africans do have also a lot of population in their country that is really suffering, that do not have jobs, that don't have a home, that don't have anything? Do you know that? I think it's high time that all of us started looking at things in the real world. You come in a foreign land, run away from the poverty in your country, and you come in South Africa to be wise. Does that make any sense? You run away from your land, where you've left so much problems and you failed to be wise there. Now you want to be wise in South Africa. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. I think Africans, sometimes we turn out to be hypocrites. Why do I say this? Why are you forcing or imposing yourself on a country that is not yours? You're saying you can't be foreigner in Africa. No, that is low. That is low. It is low. For as long as there is borders that divides Africa. If you go in another land, you are a foreigner. Because you've gone in a foreign land with a different ID. You are a foreigner. That's just a fact. The only way you can say, I cannot be a foreigner in Africa is when Africa, they open the borders. I don't think that will happen. Because our president wants to make money, so that's not going to happen. Look, we African people from different countries, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Uganda, from Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, we need to learn something from South Africans. South Africans, they don't care what they do for as long as they make things right. For them, a wrong is a wrong. They fight for their country. Just like you have seen the Kenyans. Change does not come by you running away and jumping into another country and then you start talking. No, it doesn't come like that. Change comes when people go and take it to the streets and they fight. When people die, that's when change comes into the land. This freedom that we all have today, somebody died for this freedom so that all of us can be able to talk, all of us can be able to even start saying, hey, I deserve an asylum, I deserve this. Meanwhile, your country does not have war, it doesn't have anything, there's no problems in your country. You just ran away and come and create stories that are lies because you want to obtain an asylum. That's being coward. That's being coward. I know you're going to call me names, hypocrites. You're going to say so many things, but I don't care. But I'm trying to tell you because I always speak the right thing. You can never be South Africa. If you're a Zimbabwean, you'll be a Zimbabwean. You will die a Zimbabwean. If you're a Ghanaian, you'll be a Ghanaian and you will die a Ghanaian. If you are Malawian or Nigerian, you will die that person you were. The ID that you have is Malawian, you will die Malawian. The ID you have is Nigerian, you will die Nigerian. All the countries, Pakistan, you are going to die Pakistan. Whether you married a South African, it does not change who you are still a foreigner in a foreign land, married to a foreign woman or married to a foreign man. Let us face this and let us face the truth to say that there is no wrong in fighting for a country that you only have. South Africans only have one country, which is South Africa. If they lose it, they have no home to go to. So if they fight for this land today, when they start fighting for this land, when they start taking back everything from this land, it is their rule, it is their right. It is their right to flourish in this country. It is their right to be in South Africa. It's their right to protect their own country. It is their right to do what they're doing. There is no wrong by telling you, go back home and fix things. Visiting a country is not, the law has not forbidden you from visiting a country. You can go and visit a country and then go back home. But if you want to stay in a country, bring something to the country, invest in a country, become an investor, and then employ the South African people to work. The law is going to be very happy with you. And for as long as you pay tax, for as long as you're doing straightforward business, you're not selling drugs, you're not selling beer, you're not selling fake things, you're not doing all this, you're obeying the law. The law is going to be very happy with you, and you will live a better life in that foreign land. So we can't keep fighting for a family that is not ours. You are abandoning your own family and you want to fight a battle that is not yours. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, my brother. It doesn't make sense, my sister. If you are from Zimbabwe, go and fight your own battles in Zimbabwe. Fight. Fight for your own freedom. Make things right in Zimbabwe. I hear your president Mnangagwa wants you because he says things are better. You go back there. Zambians, go back to Zambia. You fight your own battle in Zambia. Fight, because Africans need to fight in order for Africa to be better. In Africa, we are rich. Every single country is rich by minerals, by everything. If we fight for our land to be better, investors will come and invest in our lands, and we will have more jobs. By running away from our lands and start putting poverty into somebody else's land, that is not right. It is not right. South Africa is calling out for investors who are coming to invest into the land, and not people who are looking for greener pastures. Unless if South Africa has put something out there and say, we have shortage of people that, employers have shortages of certain people or certain roles in the companies that they can't find, then they will go for a foreigner to come and work. But I think we just have to be real. We have to be real about this. We really have to be real about this. There's no xenophobic acts by fighting for your land or freedom. People want to be free. People want to be free. Freedom is whereby you can take your kids to school. You can be able to go on holiday. You can manage to pay your car. You can manage to pay your house. You can also manage to look after your mother and your father. That is freedom. And that's what the South African people want. But they don't want foreigners to take over what belongs to them, what belongs to them. Even though you can say no one was born with a job. No. Look, you were born a South African. So therefore, whatever that opportunities come in South Africa, those opportunities, they must go to the South African first before they can get to a foreigner. Unless if there's no South African who is willing to take up that opportunity. So let's not be hypocrites. Let's just be human. And we are all carrying a certain passport or ID for another land that we need to go back and fight for. We need to start fighting for our countries and not trying to fight for a South Africa that is not yours. So Africans, stop doing this. It's a high time you started understanding to say you cannot force or impose yourself on a family that is not your family. If you were a friend with that family and you helped them at one point, they don't owe you anything for as long as they don't want to help you in any way. So find acceptance and move on. South Africa is for South